In 2004, a researcher named Peter Gordon published a study about the language of an Amazonian tribe called the Piraha. What he found there literally shook the world of linguistics and changed what we know about language learning. He found that the language of the Piraha has no specific words for numbers. So, for example, there are no specific words for the number 5, 7, no word for 15, 52. Their entire system is basically approximation. So, one, a couple, and a lot. That's it, nothing exact. Now, you might think, okay, well, they might be very bad at maths then. But that is not what the study found. The study found something far stranger. Gordon, the researcher, sat adult members of the tribe across the table, laid out exactly 7 stones in a row, then hid the stones. Then he asked them to rearrange the row of stones from memory. And surprisingly, they couldn't. Not because they had bad memory, not because they weren't paying attention, but because their brain, without a specific word for the number 7, literally could not hold the concept of exactly 7 stones. They could only produce a lot of stones, 5, 9, 11, but not the exact number. Scientists actually have a name for what happened to the Piraha, and that is linguistic relativity, or what is called the Sapir-Whorf hypothesis. And so the conclusion was, and I really want you to pay attention to this, because the entire lesson rests on this. If your language does not have a word for a certain concept, your brain physically struggles to perceive that reality. You see, a language does not just describe the world. Language shapes how you see it and understand it. So, now we know what happens when a language is missing a word. The brain simply cannot hold the concept with precision. The Piraha couldn't count 7 stones, not because they were less intelligent, but because their language gave them no container for it. So, let's flip that around. What if a language has a word, a single word, that contains a concept so precise, so layered, that no other language on earth ever developed a container for it? What happens then? Well, the people who don't speak that language would be in the exact same situation as the Piraha. The Piraha were missing the number 7, but they didn't even know that they were missing it. Similarly, the people who don't speak that particular language would be missing an entire concept while they don't even know it. They can't know it. Now, what if I told you that this language does exist, and that there is a book in this particular language containing dozens and dozens of words, so precise and so layered that they only exist in that particular language? This language is Arabic, and this book is the Quran. So to fully understand and appreciate the Quran, no translation to any language and no other means would replace learning Arabic to really understand and grasp the concepts in the Quran. And if you're thinking, this seems to be kind of unfair to those who don't already speak the language. If you're thinking that, then I highly recommend watching this video after finishing this one. It fully answers this question. Now, to really understand why Arabic is the only way to really appreciate the beauty of the Quran, we'll discuss some examples. Let's start with one of the most famous examples. It is actually coming from Surah Al-Ikhlas. The second ayah contains the word As-Samad. Allahu Samad. Now, a non-Arabic speaker would use a translation to understand the second ayah describing Allah. But upon doing this, you'll start seeing a problem. Almost every single source you'll check, you'll find a different translation. The eternal refuge, the sustainer, needed by all, besought by all, needing none, the eternal, absolute, the unwanting, the everlasting refuge, the absolute, and so on. So, which is it? Well, as a matter of fact, None of them are exactly, precisely correct, but they aren't wrong either. And it isn't the translator's fault. It is just a limitation of the language. It is like we're trying to describe the number 7, but the best we could do is saying a lot. So why not just describe it in English then? Alright, let's try that. As-Samad means the one who is eternal, so with no beginning and no end, the one who is the ultimate destination, the one everyone turns to in times of need, the one who's absolutely self-sufficient, so he does not need anything from anyone, the one who does not eat or drink, the one who's not coveted, is impenetrable, the one with no weaknesses, no absence, the one who's the master of all creation. This is more or less the meaning of the two-syllable word, As-Samad. You need a paragraph minimum just to approach it, simply showing the Arabic language's power, the language that was chosen to carry weight that no other language can. Now let's look at a different type of untranslatable word, fitna. If you look in an English translation for the meaning of the Quran, you will almost always see the word translated as trial, test, temptation, or affliction. But when compared to the actual Arabic word, these translations miss the essence of the meaning of fitna in Arabic. For a test or a trial, you either pass or fail, guilty or not guilty. But the actual meaning of fitna comes surprisingly enough from metallurgy. It specifically describes the physical process of taking raw gold or silver and then thrusting it into a blazing fire. Not to destroy it, you hold it to the extreme heat to melt away the dirt, the dross, the impurities, so that only the pure, flawless metal remains, gold or silver. So when you read fitna in the Quran, the English translation just focuses on it being a sorting mechanism showing the good from the bad. And while that is not necessarily wrong, it does show the good from the bad, it is missing an important component because it does not only sort people, but in certain cases, that heat of this difficult situation can burn away your impurities and reveal the pure gold inside of you, making you a better person. When you deal with that fitna properly, with sabr, and being happy with Allah's decree, whatever it is. And this was just one single of 11 other meanings for this exact same word in Arabic. An Arabic word can really go quite deep. And I want to end with the most beautiful example. A very common word, in fact. Rahmah, with the common translation, mercy. It is kind of a straightforward one. What could we be possibly missing here? Well, mercy in English is mostly defined by restraint. It's like, I had the power to harm you and I chose not to. A judge shows mercy to a guilty party. A victor shows mercy to a defeated enemy. But the Arabic word rahmah does not come from courtrooms or battlefields. It is linguistically derived from the root rahim, which is a mother's womb. What about the womb? Well, it is an environment of ultimate protection, nourishment, and unconditional care for a fragile life that cannot do anything for itself. So when Allah calls himself Ar-Rahman, the most merciful, he's not just saying, I won't punish you while I can. The Arabic meaning includes total envelopment, protection, and nourishment, even when you're completely helpless. So translating this profound, life-giving protection as just mercy is once again staring at 7 stones and just writing a lot. So now the real question is, what's the point you're trying to make here? Well, simply put, don't settle for the English translation. Don't settle for the approximation. Go for the real, actual meaning to really appreciate the true, exact meaning. When you read the English translation of the meaning of the Quran, you are reading what a human translator understood from the Quran. And that person, however brilliant, had to make choices. They chose one English word, whereas the Arabic word contained 5 embedded meanings. They smoothed over linguistic miracle because English grammar doesn't allow it. Many other elements were lost in the translation. But when you read and understand the Quran in Arabic, you're interacting directly with the unfiltered words from Allah, directly from Him. And you don't need to be a scholar or a linguist. You really don't have to understand every grammatical rule. But the moment you can read Allahu Samad and really know all the implied meanings and realize that this word has no equivalent in any human language, that it was chosen with infinite precision, that it is exactly right in a way that cannot be replicated, and Allah blessed you with this knowledge, that moment changes you, and you start looking at the Quran in a completely different way. So even if you can't start learning Arabic today, make it a life goal that you always aspire to want to achieve, even little by little someday. And remember, you don't need to be a linguist genius to start understanding the Quran in its original language. You just need the right path. So if you're looking for one, you can start with this book, which I left its link in the description, along with many other valuable resources that can help you start your journey properly and set yourself up for success, inshallah, in a very short amount of time. If this video changed the way you view the Quran, then please like and share the video with others who need to see it, and subscribe for more content like this. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out my latest books with their video courses if you want to learn the Quran in Arabic or properly learn its tajweed. Check out the links in the description. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time, inshallah.